Richard, what is it about the Big Fix that appealed to you? Because I assume that after winning the Academy, you could have done anything that you wanted to do.
Well, first of all, I did the Big Fix before I won the Academy. Most people don't realize the lag of time. We shot the Big Fix a year ago, and I won the award last April, so the film was already shot and in the can by the time the award happened. The reason I did it is because I identified totally with the character of Moses Wine from the novel, and I wanted to portray him on film.
When you read a script, Richard, can you tell instantly how you would play that person, or do you have to dig around and work at it?
Well, in the past, it's been an immediate visceral reaction to a character. And when I don't have that immediate reaction, I feel very insecure, and I don't think I ever do a good job under those circumstances. But I'm learning to change that now. I mean, I'm trying to break my patterns of work so that I can approach my craft in a more complete way.
What is the most difficult role, or which is the most difficult role to get a handle on that you can remember?
You mean in the last 5 years of film work?
Uh-huh.
The most difficult one was probably Inserts, the character of the boy wonder in Inserts. That was emotionally very trying, and also technically the character of Roy Neary in Close Encounters was the most difficult.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Why was it?
Because there is one thing that I impose, in a sense, on almost all of the characters I play, which is a sense of self-awareness. And Roy is the one character I've played who has none. He has no self-awareness, and he doesn't know what is going on around him, and that's what the process was of that film. And it was very, very difficult to do that for me.
Was it that you had to keep reining yourself in, or trying to expand something and find what to expand?
It was reining something in. It was keeping something in check.
Yeah.
You know, a knowing glance, a knowing tone, rather than, huh? Which is something I do all the time in my real life. It's only on film that I go, hey.
Richard, getting to the Academy Awards for just a second, I am among many people who are in a position where we're supposed to give predictions, you know, of who's going to win. Now, the year before, I really, you know, I was Sacco. I got 4 out of the top 5, you know. And this year, I got 2 out of 5, and I kept saying, I won't get any. It's just that kind of year. I won't guess any of them. But, and I must say, love, I'm sorry. I didn't pick you. Not that I didn't want you to win.
Separate checks?
Not that I didn't want you to win, Richard, but you know, all the scuttlebutt, and you know, I try to keep ear to the ground and all, everything's pointed to Richard Burton.
Well, I was with you. I did the same thing. I didn't pick me either. I picked Burton. I voted for me 5 times, but I thought Burton was going to win it.
All right, so when they said Richard Dreyfus, what happened?
I got very happy, very quickly. It was an amazing moment, and it was very much very fuzzy in my mind. Everything kind of turned into Swahili immediately, and I couldn't think. The English language was across the room. Later on, I got very happy and have remained very happy, oddly enough, since that night.
And as a result of that, what kinds of offers have come to you?
It's an amazing thing, you know. None. No, that's not what's amazing. The Academy Award so far has made no difference in my life. The same things that were happening last year and the year before are happening now. So far it's done nothing except make me personally feel real nice.
You mean you haven't had, you know, tons of scripts tossed in your lap?
Well, I've been having a lot of scripts for the last few years, so that it didn't jack up immediately. Obviously we don't have time to go into this, but suffice it to say that there are enormous myths about Hollywood, the Academy Award, the industry, none of which have any foundation in truth. Okay?
One last question. Do you fear now that the Big Fix and the character Moses Wine, that reviewers and people are going to try to compare it with the Goodbye Girl?
It's something that doesn't concern me. One is not the other.
And so if reviewers do that, you're just going to say, eh.
Personally, whatever reviewers say is irrelevant to me. I mean, as people, I want them to like the film, but as reviewers, I think they have no basis in in relevance.
Richard, may I make an observation, and that is, since the Academy, I think that your self-awareness and your what shall I say, your confidence has grown enormously. Is that a fair statement?
I couldn't say that, but thank you for saying it.
Okay, Richard, nice seeing you.
Thank you.
I love you. Can I take you home? Goodbye, girl. But I'd been saying this a little bit before. But
I think, you done the introduction,
that should
do them separately, or you'll go each one separately?
I'm not doing introductions. I'll do that later. Just give me a 4-shot.
Or shall I then
Yeah.
do the one you-
Where are you from?
Right. Dallas.
Dallas.
Okay.
Yes, speed? Go up.
Well, gentlemen of the Big Fix, the gentleman behind the scenes of the Big Fix. I'd like to start, Carl, with you because you have been almost a lifelong friend with Richard Dreyfus. You met back in elementary school, is that right?
In 6th grade.
Yes.
Horseman Elementary School in Beverly Hills.
And always been close friends since then?
Since then.
Uh-huh.
Very close.
Okay, now you've completed this project, and I think sometimes that close friends don't really know each other until they get involved in something very close, and making a picture is very close. Did this in any way at all jeopardize the friendship you have with Richard?
No, it's funny. I thought about that going in. You have a lot of friends saying to you, don't work with a friend, you'll end up hating each other. Richard and I are tight, and we don't have problems with each other. And I gained a lot of respect for him because he's such a good actor. But I would look at the dailies, and I'd look at his work, and I just got a whole new dimension of him, working with him on a day-to-day level, and working with him on the script with Roger and Jeremy. His intelligence as a professional, really, it gave me a whole new perspective of him. He's always been my friend, but now as my partner and somebody to work with, I was really knocked out.
Yeah, and you didn't have hassles, or?
You know, we all have hassles. We're all a highly energized group, and we care and fight for what we believe in. But that's not a personal thing. That's not a hassle. That's just a reality that you deal with. Yeah. And no problems.
Roger, are you pleased seeing your work on screen? Has it come off the way you wanted it to?
Yeah. It's a very risky thing for a writer to say, because most writers in Hollywood, they say, oh, well, yeah, they ruined it. Because writers in Hollywood get shafted a little bit, but they also shaft back by saying, oh, well, the director directed or the actor directed or whatever. You know, no one ever knows whether the writer is right or not. Often he's right, but I stand behind it.
Everything pleases you?
Not everything, no, but most of it does, yeah.
What does not please you?
Oh,
And aren't you sorry you brought that up?
all right.
You want to get into that?
Yeah, I'll tell you, there's one scene in the movie I particularly don't like. And I'll tell you, it's the scene in the printer's office.
What didn't gel about that?
Well, I thought the comedy was too broad in that scene. That's my, you know.
Oh.
It wasn't, what I like about the movie is the reality of it. And, you know, that most of it comes from the truth of the experience of the people in here.
Here you are on television, honestly on television, and you know that you would get these people who made a movie, and here we are all trying to publicize, and you'd expect they say, well, there isn't anything I didn't like. The movie is brilliant. And here he honestly said, of course he's wrong.
Yeah, really, absolutely
There's no
wrong.
question about it. I mean, it's a
movie.
good scene, and it's funny, and it's alive, and I
you
enjoyed
join
it.
It's a cheap shot.
I know,
It's a
man.
cheap
Every
shot.
time you get a writer
Can't trust you.
involved, I mean, why do we have to have writers?
Shouldn't we shaft more writers?
Exactly. If we could only get rid of the writer, we could really make a motion picture. We
Jeremy.
wouldn't have to have a story
They
at all.
can, they can make it up as they go along.
Jeremy,
right?
can I just say something? You're
Yes.
talking like a director.
Oh, goodness gracious, I've always wanted to be a director.
Directing Richard Dreyfus, how much direction do you give him, or do you just kind of let him do his own thing?
Oh, he can't even take one step without direct. The left foot, the left, and then now the right one. No, two lefts and it's. Richard's an amazingly gifted actor and gifted human being. He's an awful lot of fun to work with, and he's a man who understands his role as an actor. And an actor is someone who needs a director, because in one way the director is an audience of one. I'm there representing everyone else, and I'm telling him, yes, that's good, no, that isn't, maybe we can try getting a way to make it better. And he is an excited human being who loves the process of acting, and actors need directors. So in that sense, he's there for me, because he's there for me as an actor, And then the next quality is he's such a gifted human being and so intelligent, exciting that you can work very creatively with him. You have to find a language for each actor that you work with, and each actor is different. Some you can talk to, some you must feel with, and you find each person's way of relating. Richard can be related to on so many levels that it's a real turn-on for a director, because if I can use all kinds of devices to get performance.
You have worked with, some really big names, and do you find
The
that
biggest was a Polish guy who had 3 middle names. It was Sławomir Warnowicz.
No, I was thinking about Rob Reiner, for one, who worked with him, who are a couple of other.
Well, Henry Winkler is the last feature player that I work with, since Sally Field and Art Carney and Billy D. Williams. These are some of the people
Yes.
most recently.
Now, let's just take an Art Carney versus Henry Winkler, two very distinct personalities. How would you handle Art Carney in a difficult situation? Now, you've got to go to this actor and you've got to say, hey, I'm sorry, that's just not the way I want it, or I don't think that's going to work. Now, if you're going to say that to Art Carney, how do you do it? And if you're going to say it to Henry Winkler, how do you do it?
With Art, I usually did it with a little more of an Irish accent, and with Henry, a little more of a Yiddish accent. It's really as simple as that. No, I mean, but that is a very tough question, because the point is that, it depends on the moment. It really does. I mean, Art was a man who if you used lots of complicated words to try to get what you wanted, it wasn't worth it. With Henry, you had to push Henry to be willing to let himself go. The more at ease Henry was, the freer his performance and the better his performance would be. With Art, it was much more specific. If I could reduce to a very clear phrase what it is that I wanted from him, he would do it. Both men, interestingly enough, are capable of being told what you want. And of course, the biggest problem is, for any director, is to know what he wants. If he can express himself, then the question is, can the actor, do the job? And both men are so talented that it's not really that different. They really can do the job. And both were gifted comedians and dramatic actors.
Hey, this has been a lot of fun. Normally I don't look forward to doing 3 guys or 3 anybody at one time, 3 clones even. But you guys work together really neat. And it was fun talking with all 3 of you.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the movie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that really is true. I hate panel discussion.